Well, Sakina, just moments before you came to me, there were scuffles here between what you're seeing now is the security here at the Wits University campus, as well as students from the EFF Student Command, who this morning had been blockading the entrance to Wits University here on Empire. As you can see, they are pushing each other. They had been blocking the entrance this morning, and now security is saying they need to move away from the entrance of the university. You would know that these protests, just take a look at what is taking place here, Sakina. These students had been this morning sitting right in front of the gate here at Wits University and not allowing any cars to come in. And essentially what happened was that the security was brought in and they asked the students to move. The students said they're not going to move until their demands are addressed, and that is what led to this scuffle at this point. You can see students are trying to get in. Let's hear what some of that is.
My campus! We are fighting for your kids, and you're pushing me off my campus.
These are criminals.
Registered students at Wits. We are fighting for your kids.
What are students here? What is You're fighting with the abusers of men. You're fighting with the abusers of men. Take those things, man. Take those things, man. Bring it them. Take.
Well, these have been the ongoing scuffles between security here at Wits University, as well as members of the EFF Student Command. You would recall, of course, that here at Wits University, students have been saying what they want is that students who owe 150,000 Rand and less should be allowed to register. There's also the 10,000 Rand upfront payment for accommodation, which they say they want to be waived, as well as the 45,000 Rand cap on the NSFAS allowance for accommodation or residence. They're saying they want that scrapped. They basically say 45,000 Rand is not enough for accommodation. Sometimes it would run into about over 58,000 Rand, and they say that they simply don't have the money. They've been wanting to register. They have been wanting to find accommodation. We understand that some of the students have been sleeping in libraries, others have been sleeping outside because they simply cannot afford. These are the clashes you'll see towards this direction. This is one of the cars here, which is obviously also now going to make a U-turn because they're not allowed to go into the premises here at Wits University. More scuffles here. Take a look. Just take a look. It's getting a little bit violent at this particular point. We're going to try and go a little bit closer. Tembiso, let me bring you in. Tembiso from the EFF Student Command. This morning you were here. You've been sitting in front of the entrance saying that no cars should go in on the basis that your demands have not yet been met. Talk us through what's transpiring right now.
Good morning to everyone. So what is transpiring now is that we'll find ourselves as the youth of this country in a situation whereby systematically we become excluded, because if it's not fees, if it's not accommodation, it's academics. As black students, we feel as if we're marginalized in the institutions of higher learning. We find ourselves in situations whereby here we are fighting for the rights of other students, yet we become harassed, we become beaten up. It is not fair. It is not fair to anyone.
I'm going to ask you to come this way so that we're able to show our viewers what is going on here while we continue with the discussion. We're talking about here students that are sleeping outside. They've been unable to register, I understand. The call, some of the calls is that those who owe 150,000 Rand and less, is it, should be allowed to register. Is that what you as EFF Student Commander also saying? What is some of the issues that you're putting to the table?
In actual essence, ma'am, when we go to the root of this issue, we were promised free, quality, and decolonized education. But then we wake up in the morning, they give us a sorry excuse of something called NSFAS, that is a bogus form of free education. And then after the day in, day out, year after year, it gets worse and worse and worse. Tariffs go high. Interest rates here at this university go up day by day. And therefore we're saying that NSFAS is not the solution. NSFAS is not the sustainable solution. This is not a call to the university alone. This is a call to government. This is a call to capital itself to say that we're tired of being outside. We want our right to learn. We want our right to be in a class with a full stomach, having an allowance. We just want to feel welcome. That's all we want. And it's painful the fact that an institution reacts in the way that it reacts by continuing to abuse their students.
So the manner in which the security has reacted this morning, they would obviously argue that you're not allowing anyone onto the premises. That is what the communication from the university has said. They want the classes to continue. But of course this morning, in protest for your rights as students, you are sitting at the entrance of the university. What do you say to that?
Well, it's a very tough position to take, but we need to take it. Not for our sake, but for generations to come. The fact of the matter is that there's a revolution that is spewing. There's a revolution that is spewing because students are agitated. Students do not feel welcomed here.
Stembiso, thank you very much. I'm sure we'll be talking to you and the rest of the students throughout the course of today. Thank you very much for your time and articulating on issues that you're concerned about as students here, in particular the EFF Student Command and other students, of course. Thank you very much. So, Sakina, at this particular point, this is what is taking place. Take a look here. This is the main entrance at the Wits University. Wits University. Okay, students say they want to enter again. There's a gate here that is opened. I suppose that they will try to wrestle and go in that gate. It looks motorized, so I think that's going to be a little bit difficult at this particular point. So their students are entering once again, and I think this is what's likely. This is likely to cause a bit more commotion because this security has been tasked. Now they're coming in. Take a look. The security here at Wits University now going in towards that direction. Take a look here. That is where we'll have to broadcast from outside the gates at this point. The security that the campus has deployed is now heading towards the students who've managed to use their fingerprints in order to get onto the premises. So the students are heading a bit up towards, they're now inside or on the premises of the university. So they are now going to try and continue their protest there. They're saying that they don't want, at this particular stage, I know that there has been an instruction that we are not allowed to be on the premises of the school. We are outside the gates at this particular point, but you can see there, I'll ask my colleague Gabin, there's a car there. Take a look there. There's a car that has been stopped by these students. Remember, they're saying they don't want anyone to come onto the premises because they do not want education to continue. They don't want education to continue on the basis that at this particular point, I'm going to ask my colleague Gabin to come with me towards this direction. I'm hoping that we'll be able to, you could turn around, Gabi, and come with us a bit towards this direction. We'll try to bring you to this area if we're, of course, not stopped by the protection services here at the university. Okay, we're already being told, Imedia Aingeni, we're standing at the gate.